issues here. Let's see. Come on, let's see if we're on. Our time goes. I'm going to do a quick check because we've had. So this portion of the show is working fine. We'll see. We'll see if. Go down. There we go. Got some little reverberation. Yeah, there's still something not totally correct with Facebook and this platform. So we're going to see if we can't get to the part 2 of the show. But if we don't, I'll figure something out. And I think I have a second idea. But anyway, let's get on with this show today. Now, I don't know if anybody else has had the issues with the zip codes versus the areas, but I have. And when but the good news is, the really good news is we have 26 days of inventory when we go a little bit outside the circle of the areas. So that's the good news, you know, and I think that's probably why the MLS decided to get rid of areas, because it was easier for us to use zip codes than go back to using areas. Because I think for them to geographically expand those areas must have caused them an issue somewhere along the line. But anyway, I'm fine with the zip codes. It took me a while to get them all together. And here, and I went on several different, Googled several different things. And let's see if I can show you what I came up with. Let's see here. Where did they go? Here we go. Look at all that. All those are the zip codes. And I'm going to put these in the group so you all can use them. And also what I came up with is the communities that these different zip codes represent. So I thought that would be really good for you too. And I'm going to put that in the group as well. But this was something. So these go outside the areas that we were using before for stats. So I think that's probably why. One of the main reasons was that without the city. So Karen, been trying to find out all week. Are you talking about the zip codes? Just say yes or no for me, so I know I did a good thing. You know me, I need approval and validation. Yeah, this has been, believe me, you can go on several different places, and I finally went on every place I could find and finally found all of them. So, and I double checked them, everybody, with the map. So I know these are correct. Now this does not include Mesquite. I was trying to, because I don't think Mesquite, of course, and it does not include Boulder City. So, and the areas didn't either, but just saying, because I don't know how things overlapped on those areas. I know what the map said. Yeah, I know what the map said. I'll post these in the group, Karen. Yeah. For those of you who want to know what communities are in what zip codes, I'm going to give that to you. So hang on. So today, let's go back here. So we have 26 days of inventory, which is really, really wonderful, because the old way, if I pull up by area, we only had 16. So we've added 10 days. So that's really good news as far as I'm concerned, right? And we have 846 active homes under 400,000. Now that makes sense if you think that when you go around the outskirts, especially up in Centennial Hills area and the east, that would bring us more homes under 400,000. So we actually have 846. Makes me, as a broker, I'm sure Karen, you feel the same way, makes me feel very good, because if y'all don't have anything to sell, you're not making money. And if you're not making money, we're not making money. And we have, we have a business to run, just like you do, right? I have bills to pay, you have bills to pay. So we're all in this together, believe me. We listed 88 homes yesterday. We put 100 under contract. We closed 80. But we have 3,172 available homes. 482 of them are over $1 million or $1 million plus. Yeah. We're selling right now 87 a day already. Now we started this month off a little bit more ferocious than we did September, because September, if you remember, we had a holiday in the beginning of the month. So I suspect this, I don't know if we're going to get how much we're going to get. Last October, we were doing 110 a day. For the year, we're still averaging 142 home sales a day. The non-owner occupieds this month, actually, because we're starting, this is October 1st, starts the beginning of the fourth quarter, and we do our owner occupieds by quarter. So already we've done 184. So that's 31% of the 436 homes that we've sold this month. It's really important if you all can have conversations with your sphere of influence, if you're a broker with your agents, and tell them things that are not necessarily readily available on the internet, such as some of these statistics. The big statistic change that we want to talk about today is this one. Let me hide this and put myself back down here. This one, look, we are at 403,000 for our median. That is excellent. It ended up in September, the median being 410. So September, heavy duty for some reason, 410. And that's the median. And then now we're back down to 403. And so we're about where we were in June as far as people's ability to buy. So that's very important. I'm so happy. And if you can see down here, I used all those zip codes to come up with that number. And let's put this back up here for a second. It said it used, hold please, let me hide this for a second. This said it used approximately 27,000 listings and for the year, and we've done 39,000. So it's still not taking all of them. I don't know why. I don't know why. However, when I run this stat, this is in the MLS stats, I think you all can run this one as well and find this out. But results calculated from approximately 27,000. Oh, I know why. Sorry. Single family. Yes, that's why. Answer my own question. Yeah, this is just single family. So the 39,000 includes townhomes and condos. All right, I feel better now. I just really never want to give misinformation. So let's hide that. And let's see. All right, so I had an issue now with the platform. I'm going to tell you. We want to do a tip today. And this is, I think we're on tip number 6. So I recorded it, but when I went to play it on the platform, there was no volume. So I'm going to actually go right to the YouTube channel and play it. So everybody, bear with me while I do it. I always get nervous. Let's see, shared screen. Okay, showing the stream. I'm going to put myself down here, and we're going to see if we can do this. Okay, bear with me. Let's hope it works. Let's hope it works. Now I got to find the screen. Not that one. I think it's this one. Okay.
I think it's Tim Ferriss' Bulletproof Friday.
Right.
Let's back up a little bit, I think. 10 tax record strategies. Yes. Hold on. Okay, here we go.
Yep.
All right.
Another great idea. One of my clients, Amol Heda up in Silicon Valley in that area, he's pulling tax records.
I'm literally going to walk over
and make sure it's right there.
I have some tape. We can
Right.
tape it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeff was in a band, and he was the singer that did this, like.
Did you get that? So Amol Heda up in Silicon Valley, I showed you the slides of what he's doing. He's going in tax records, and he's pulling up. You can get the data around what kind of mortgage rates homeowners have. He found even in Silicon Valley, he's like in an area where everybody, right, they're so
engineers.
smart. He pulled 1,000 homeowners and determined that 400 of them had rates of 3.5% or higher. Why is that important? Now he's reaching out to them and saying, hey, let's just have this discussion about refinancing right now. Mm-hmm. And I think most agents go, well, how's that going to benefit me?
Right.
I'm
not in the mortgage business.
Right. But it still, again, starts a conversation. Starts a conversation of, have you thought about moving? Have you thought about taking advantage of this equity? Or have you thought about taking that equity and purchasing other properties and creating income mailbox money basically is what he's doing. So it's working.
So where's he getting the data?
He's pulling it. He's in California, and he's getting it from his we can pull the data in our MLS.
Where do you get it from yours in Richmond, Virginia?
Just right in tax records, right in our
Okay.
MLS system.
Okay.
But I think he's getting it either from his transaction coordinator or somebody along the lines. What do they use for closings? Escrow title.
Yeah.
Title.
Yeah.
I can't think.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not good. We're in the middle of a podcast and he can't think.
I forgot.
And he's still
I
giving
forgot.
us a bunch of brilliant ideas.
Right. But,
What's going to happen when he starts thinking?
Right. But it's leading to a conversation, and it's working for him.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, maybe Remine or another data mining solution that would have that.
Yeah.
So everybody, the key is find out all the homes maybe in your farm or in a geographic territory where you've got buyers and there's no homes on the market. What's everybody's interest rates, and call and engage in the conversations with the people that have high interest rates.
Yep.
And the worst case scenario is they don't want to move. And you just said, hey, let me get my loan officer to reach out to you and let's get you guys at least a better rate, right? Like that's just a do-good move that's going to pay benefits in the future forever. All right, Jason, I think you're on number 3.
All right, number 3 is the ever exciting weekly email recap.
Yes.
All
Okay,
right.
by the way, email is so underrated right now by the
totally
vast majority of
underrated.
people, and email is the number 2 driver of business success for most business owners that I know.
If you look and listen to any kind of a digital marketing influencer who's going to be teaching, they're always going to say email.
Yeah, first.
I can talk about ads all day. I can talk about social media content all day. But email has all the data to back up its efficacy as probably the single best channel for getting your content out. So this one kind of comes on the
before you say this, I want to share I read a emotional sentiment report from January 2021 around email, and it was like the percentage of people that want an email every day from brands they trust, multiple times per week, minimum once per week, and that total, when you look at the 3, was like 53% of consumers want at least something from you every week.
I think that's a massively underserved channel because a lot of agents are like, I couldn't email them more than once a month because this is a confession of my email sucks. And so therefore, if I send it to them every week, my opt-out rate, my complaint rate, the abuse rate is going to go up.
Yep.
So the answer
Because the email is only about you, not about the person you're trying to serve.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the obvious answer is, well, fine, you can either not take advantage of the email. I would ask the question of why are you bothering sending an email at all?
Right.
And the answer is because I want them to see my name in the inbox. And I'm like, what if when they see your name in the inbox, they associate it with getting that email they hate to get constantly?
Right.
It's a bad association.
Bad reputation management. Okay.
So the key is, obviously, it's got to be a value-add email. I like the idea of a weekly email recap. So I'm thinking about the FAR Group Northwest. It's a husband and wife team, Aaron and Krista Farr in Spokane, Washington. One, they are already crushing it on just about every social channel, on Instagram, on YouTube, online. And they're super I'm having a Jeff moment right now.
Don't blame me. Yeah, don't blame me.
Bill, come to my side. The brains are over here, buddy.
I was going to say they're crushing it with traditional channels too. So like postcards, farming, and so
Yes.
forth. But their weekly email recap is one of their best points of touch and impression with
So
their
what's
entire
in the
database.
email weekly recap? I mean, I conceptually have a thought around it. What is it?
It's sort of like competitive edge that you send
Yes.
out. It's basically, hey, I'm already making a lot of content throughout the course of the week, throughout the course of the month. I know that it's sometimes difficult to keep up with all the content. You don't want to miss anything. Let me give it to you in a digest where you can once a week, and I like the idea of once a week, you can consume it all at your own leisure, your own pace.
Smart.
And you have that conversation. But here's the trick. Because your content should always be value add. I'm not saying you don't do like just listed and just sold and stuff like that, but you should have content where you're contributing your knowledge, where you're contributing your experience and expertise. And because of that, you're giving. This goes back to Gary Vaynerchuk's jab, jab, right hook.
Exactly.
I'm going to give, and then I can have a CTA, but it can be inside that same weekly email recap.
Yes.
So what you should do is when you send out this email, you should also include some basic calls to action, like, hey, do you want a free home valuation? Hey, do you want to search for homes? Do you want to schedule a consultation with me? So as they scroll down looking at your content, you can continually kind of offer soft little closes to connect. Something that I've been talking about a lot with my clients when it comes to email and social at large is, are you approachable? In other words, are you creating the opportunity where you're saying, hey, you can talk to me about this, or you can talk to me about this. I think a lot of people just wait for someone to call them because they want to list their home or something like that. I'm like, you're missing the opportunity to initiate the conversation sooner. So I know I'm kind of conflating some ideas.
But Jeff's saying it all starts with that first conversation. Then you have to know what to say, and you're like, I'm trying to create some engagement.
And this email is a great space to initiate that first conversation, and then the trickle effect takes place. weekly email recap. You got to be making content, but that's an opportunity folks are missing. In terms of providers, they can use BombBomb, they can use MailChimp, they can use Constant Contact, Aweber, ConvertKit.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
One pro tip I will give is if you're sending a new email, I would think twice before you make your reply to address your main email address. Because you have a sender reputation as an emailer.
Yes.
You have a sender score.
Yep.
And it's based upon a lot of factors, one of which is the company you use to send emails. If you're using one of those freebie email providers that sends mass email on your behalf, there's a really good chance you're on a shared server with about 500,000 other realtors who understand not much about email and they're spamming people. Right. And so if they get accused of spam by their list, by extension, you are too.
Yep.
And if you use your email address with that list, your regular email address, it goes down in flames right there with it.
Right.
So there's two morals. One, pay to be on a better private server when you send emails. And two, I would recommend getting a Gmail address that's just for this list and using it as the reply to address. That way you're sheltered from your primary domain, because I've talked to agents who they have to text agents, hey, I submitted an offer, did you get it? Because their emails go to spam because of bad list management over past years.
Yeah.
So don't be guilty of that.
Yeah. So I want to go back. It's interesting. One of the things that we started doing with a bunch of my clients is the same thing. It's like, hey, once a week, you're like, it's not only like, hey, here's the best piece of content that got the most response or the most Q&A, the most like engagement, but they're also saying, here's my happy client of the week.
Yeah.
And I just love it. It wasn't my idea. I'm going to space on who it was, but they're like, wouldn't it just be great? It's just a photo of me with like the new home buyer, right? And to be able to show, especially for a lot of our high-end clients, like, hey, here's the $12 million sale I made, but here's the $400,000 condo I did or $200,000 condo, because like they truly have that range and they want to keep broadcasting, you know, hey, call me when you have a $300,000 sale. Because I do those also, not just 3 million, 5 million, 12 million, et cetera, right? So I love that one. I also loved best new restaurant in town, best new thing that I discovered in our community. Have you seen this? What do you know about it, to try and create engagement? My question for you, and maybe it's too advanced, is when they open up that email, are they opening up on that agent's domain, or are they just reading the email?
They're just reading the email. So,
and do you all get the difference,
right.
what I'm saying here? Because I want the traffic back to my website.
So here's what you're going to do. They're going to open the email in whatever their email provider is, Outlook, Gmail, whatever it is. The reply to address is what I was talking about a second ago with the Gmail address. That's neither here nor there.
That's just reply, hey, thanks so much, blah, blah, blah.
You're going to hyperlink the living daylights out of all the different content. And my recommendation is, and this is probably going a little bit into the weeds, if you're making content for Facebook and Instagram and elsewhere, the same content that is repurposed in this email should also be repurposed as blog post. Whenever, like I do this, whenever I post a social, you're going to find the same thing on my blog too, because I want to build that SEO opportunity. And if you open up my email, it's going to go to my blog. I want the traffic on the website.
On my website, so not to Facebook, not to YouTube. I want it on my site. So we actually covered that on a Tom Ferry show eons ago. So you might want to just search for that.
I got the idea from you.
I think it's Tim Ferriss' Bulletproof Friday.
Right. Or it's five Bullet Fridays.
5 Bullet Fridays.
Okay,
right?
speak into the microphone there.
5 Bullet Fridays.
By the end of this podcast, I'm going to have the two of you talking into a microphone.
You get like some strings that you can pull from under the table.
Here's the difference. You guys get to stay at 1. We're back.
Okay.
Would you like to trade again? Oh, we can't give that up.
We went right to Van Halen. Okay, so you got another one. Let's go.
Everyone loves gifts, right?
Yep.
All business.
Okay. All righty. That is great information, everybody. I want to point out a couple things. I know I'm always pushing an agent formula, but we have thought of all these things eons ago, well, a decade ago, right? We put out an email for you every month about the Market Watch, and it goes from your website into a newsletter with links back to your website. What's my home worth? A search for homes under 400,000. Every single blog we do for you that we send out as an email has links back to your website, searching for homes, finding out what their home is worth. So all those things we already do for you. However, what they're saying is that you should do more. You should do more than just one a month. You should do more. Like, did you hear about the new restaurant? Did you hear what's going on? Did you, just things that keep in touch, but tell them things that perhaps they don't already know, or perhaps the majority of them don't know. You never can be perfect. So that was one thing. So when you do that, we use a secure server to send our emails out from Agent Formula. But let's say for whatever reason, you're not an Agent Formula member and you want to know, okay, so what do I do? So like he said, you're going to have to pay, right? I mean, if you pay for an Agent Formula website, it's included. But if you don't have our website, then what you have to do is buy MailChimp, buy Aweber, and Constant Contact. There's so many other ones that you can use. Now, they're not as, what's the word? They don't have all the letters that we have in there. They don't have all the content that we have. We provide the content for you. I mean, we white label with Keeping Current Matters. So every day we post a blog that you can every day send out to your database, or every week, let's say. Let's say you want to send, you can send a couple out at a time and say, oh, this is what was on my website this week. You might be interested in one of these topics. So many ideas for you to stay in touch with your database. And it's a contact sport, isn't it? Yes. The other thing I wanted to say, the reply to, and I agree with this. Your reply to should not be your regular email address. It should be something that, you know, like ruth@ruthallbrand.com. It should be something different. And if you follow along with what I recommend and you use your website name as your name, then you can have ruth@ruthallbrand.com. You can have reply@ruthallbrand.com. You can have you can have a series of different emails so that when you get them back, you know where they came from. More organization, and the more organized you are, the more time you save. And the more time you save, the more time you have for doing some of these tips that we're asking you to do. Wanted to just mention too, Outlook. I'm not a Gmail fan. I don't have a Gmail address, except I do because I had to sign up for my YouTube. I had to have a Gmail address, but I don't use it. And I don't use it because it's not a secure server. And if you are a real estate agent, you really should be on a secure server. I recommend Outlook because Outlook is a more secure server. None of them are 100% secure, but Outlook backs up their server every night. And I like that. I've never had to request that they backed it up. But look what just happened to Facebook. Facebook went down. What if Gmail went down and you lost all your emails because they didn't back them up? And I don't know that much about Gmail, but I do know that you can get sent into the spam box quicker if you use a Gmail address. I know when John uses his Outlook, we have actually at our company, we have our own email server, but we're also linked to Outlook. And when an email goes out, John usually doesn't go into spam from John when he's sending out offers and things like that. So lots of good information here. Email is really underrated. Hopefully you all enjoyed that. We still have like 9 more tips to go. So hang on. We did 2 today. The first one was about going to Remind or your title company and finding out who has high interest rates and who's been in their home maybe, well, it doesn't really matter if they've been in their home 2-3 years and their interest rate was 4% and now perhaps it could be 2%, or they've been in their home 5 years and they've got like a 4.5% interest rate. You know, it's a great conversation starter, and this is a service call. It's not a sales call. This is a service call to your database to say, look, I see where your interest rate when you got your loan was 4.5%. Perhaps now you could get a lower interest rate, and calculate before you make the call. Make sure you know what their house value is. Calculate, and oh, by the way, this is what your house is worth today. And if you get a loan at this rate, right, you maybe want to take some money out, maybe not, whatever you want to do. And your principal has come down as well. So lots of information that there is to share with people. And I'm always praying everybody's out there trying to get listings. We need listings. We need inventory. And we're going to continue to grow. I really totally believe Vegas is just going to continue to blossom. So y'all have a wonderful day. Please sign up for Brian Buffini. You know, I want, it's the best way to launch your career or relaunch your career. The last time we took it, we had some agents that have been in the business 10, 11 years. And it was good, they said, to get into a system, to get strategies. Brian Buffini actually takes you on a listing appointment with him, and does a follow-up call right there on the screen that you can hear what he has to say. And he has people responding, and you hear how he overcomes objections. All these things that, you know, we need to keep learning. If you're not learning, just put retired, a sign up saying I'm retired, because when you stop learning, you're retired. I don't mean to fuss at everybody, but please sign up for Buffini. It is a wonderful course, 100 Days to Greatness. I'm so excited to teach it. I've got some new agents that are taking it. I've got some seasoned agents that are taking it. You can even Zoom, although I recommend you come into classroom because we have a lot of fun in the classroom as well. And I think you get more out of it. But if you don't want to and you want to Zoom, we can do that. I love you all. Please sign up for the class. We'd love to have you. And you're going to increase your business. It just, I've seen it. And I'm totally 100% guarantee you that you will make more money if you take this class. 14 weeks, 2 hours a week. Not a big deal, but there is homework so you can get into the strategies. I love you all. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll have some more tips. And I'm glad this worked today. It's a big day. And I'll put the zip code list in the group for you. Okay, everybody. Well, it didn't go off. Come on.